Rich people and broke people buy completely different things. Broke people buy stuff that impresses strangers at red lights. Rich people buy things that work while they sleep. And here's what's crazy. Rich people never sell these things. Ever. Even when they need cash. Even when markets crash. They hold on to these 9 assets like their life depends on it. Most people spend their entire paycheck on things that lose value the moment they buy them. New car? Loses 20% driving off the lot. Designer clothes? Worth nothing in 2 years. Meanwhile, rich people quietly buy assets that appreciate, generate income, and compound for decades. The difference between rich and broke isn't income. It's what you buy and what you refuse to sell. Today, I'm revealing 9 things rich people buy and never sell, starting with 2 foundations most people completely destroy while chasing money. If you want to know what rich people actually buy, smash subscribe and comment real assets right now. Stay until the end, because thing number 9 is how rich people make money forever, even after they stop working. Here's the first thing, and it's probably not what you expected. Thing number 1. Why do rich people obsess over their health? The energy foundation. Here's the first thing rich people buy and never sell, and it's probably not what you expected. Most people sacrifice their health chasing money. Work 80 hours a week. Skip the gym because no time. Eat garbage from drive-thrus because cooking takes too long. Sleep 4 hours and call it hustle. They think they'll get healthy when they're rich. Here's the punchline. They spend the first half of life destroying their health to build wealth, then spend the second half destroying their wealth, trying to buy back health. Terrible trade. Rich people treat health as their number 1 asset, non-negotiable. Exercise happens like brushing teeth, not optional. Sleep is protected like gold. Nutrition is an investment, not an expense. They understand something most people miss. Without energy, you can't perform. Without performance, you can't produce. Without production, there's no wealth. Health is the foundation of everything else that is built. Warren Buffett said it perfectly. Your body is the only car you get for your entire life. You can't trade it in, maintain it, or walk. Imagine buying a car at 16 and being told you'll never get another one. You'd change the oil religiously. You'd protect it. Yet people trash their only body chasing money they'll eventually spend on medical bills. I knew an entrepreneur who built a $10 million company while ignoring his health completely. Heart attack at 48. Spent 2 years recovering, had to sell his business at a massive discount just to pay medical bills. Started over at 52, this time putting gym and nutrition first. He told me something I'll never forget. I learned the hard way. You can't deposit money in a broken body. Health is the account everything else draws from. Schedule health like you schedule meetings. Non-negotiable. 7 to 8 hours of sleep, not negotiable for performance. Move your body daily. Eat real food more often than processed garbage. Rich people budget time for health first, not last. Because they understand, sick billionaires would trade everything for health. Energy is the real currency of wealth. Every single asset on this list requires energy to build and maintain. No energy, no empire. Protect the foundation before you build the tower. Your body isn't something you have, it's something you are. Sell everything else before you sell your health. Health gives you energy to build wealth. But even unlimited energy becomes worthless without the next thing, the one resource that even billionaires with private jets and unlimited bank accounts can never buy more of. Thing number 2. How do rich people think about time differently? Here's the one asset rich people guard more jealously than their money, and it changes how they make every single decision. Most people trade time for money endlessly without questioning it. They ask, how much does it cost about everything? They'll drive 30 minutes across town to save $5 on groceries, spend 3 hours researching to save $20. Value money infinitely more than time. What they don't understand, they're trading the only thing they can never get back for the only thing they can always make more of. That's not smart, that's backwards. Rich people flip the question completely. They don't ask, how much does it cost? They ask, how much time does it cost? Every purchase, every decision, every opportunity gets measured by time, not money. They buy back time with money whenever possible because they understand something most people ignore until it's too late. Time is the only truly non-renewable resource you have. Steve Jobs, worth billions, said near the end, remembering you're going to die is the best way to avoid thinking you have something to lose. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, wrote 2,000 years ago, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Rich people across all generations understand this truth. A billionaire once asked his dying friend what he would pay for more time. His friend whispered, "Everything, every dollar, every house, every car, every company, all of it." The billionaire never forgot that moment, changed everything about how he lived, stopped trading time for status, started trading money for time. He later said, "I have $500 million. I'd give every penny for guaranteed healthy years." Time is the only thing money can't directly buy. Calculate your real hourly value. If a task costs less than your hourly rate to outsource, outsource it immediately. Before every purchase, ask, does this buy me time or cost me time? Guard your time more jealously than you guard your money, because money lost can be remade. Time lost is gone forever. Freedom isn't Ferraris or mansions. Freedom is waking up when you want, working on what matters, and spending time with people you love. Every single asset rich people buy is ultimately about one thing: buying back their time. Health gives you energy. Time gives you freedom. But to convert your energy and time into actual wealth, you need the next thing. The one asset nobody can ever take from you, no matter what happens to the economy. Thing number 3, why do rich people never stop learning? Here's the one asset that nobody can repossess, no bank can freeze, and no market crash can destroy. Most people chase jobs instead of building skills. They learn the minimum required for their current position, then stop. Education ends at graduation. Skills stagnate for decades. Then one day, layoff, automation, industry shift, and suddenly their safe job disappears. They're left with an outdated resume and skills that expired years ago. They spent 20 years working without ever building anything that couldn't be taken away with a single email. Rich people think completely differently. They build what I call a skill toolbox, constantly adding new tools that can generate income on command. Every skill learned is another way to make money. Sales, marketing, coding, writing, negotiating, and public speaking. Each one is a money-printing machine inside their brain. The toolbox grows heavier every year while their options multiply. Warren Buffett, worth over $100 billion, still says, "The best investment you can make is in yourself." Benjamin Franklin invested every spare dollar in books and learning and became wealthy through accumulated knowledge. Proverbs understood this 3,000 years ago. Do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings. Here's a story that proves this. A man lost everything in 2008. House gone, savings wiped out, investments destroyed. Every external asset disappeared overnight, but he had one thing left: world-class sales skills. Within 3 years, he'd rebuilt everything. His friend asked how it was possible. He said, "They took my money, not my skills. Money sits in accounts that can disappear. Skills live in my brain forever. I can print money anytime with the right skills. Can't do that with a 401 that just crashed." Identify 3 skills that could double your income. Invest 1 hour daily learning them. Skills that consistently make money regardless of the economy. Sales, marketing, writing, speaking, negotiating, coding, and design. Every hour spent learning is a deposit in a brain bank that pays interest forever and can never be seized. Rich people don't think in dollars, they think in skills per hour. Every skill you learn is another tool that can print money on command. Build the toolbox before building the portfolio. Skills are the foundation that every other asset gets built upon. Skills generate income anytime you want. But in 2025, there's another asset that multiplies your skills exponentially. And it works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without ever sleeping or taking a vacation. Thing number 4. Why is personal brand the new real estate, the digital real estate? Here's the asset that works while you sleep, and most people don't even realize they're ignoring it. Most people have no online presence, or worse, a negative one. They let others define their reputation. They think personal branding is for influencers or for famous people. So they stay invisible in the digital world. And invisible people don't get opportunities. Nobody emails job offers to people they've never heard of. Nobody sends partnership deals to ghosts. Invisibility isn't humility, it's missed opportunity on a massive scale. Rich people understand that in 2025, attention is currency. They build personal brands like others build real estate portfolios. Your personal brand is digital real estate. It works 24 hours a day, attracting opportunities while you sleep, eat, vacation, or do absolutely nothing. You don't need 1 million followers. You need trust with the right people. Every billionaire has a recognizable personal brand. Not by accident, by design. Proverb says, "A good name is more desirable than great riches." This was true 3,000 years ago, and it's infinitely more true today when your name can reach millions through a smartphone. I know a woman who started posting helpful content in her industry. No sales pitch, no begging for followers. Just genuine value, consistently. 2 years later, 15,000 followers. Not millions, 15,000, but they were the right 15,000. Companies started reaching out with offers, speaking invitations arrived, consulting contracts worth 6 figures showed up in her inbox. She told me, "My brand works while I sleep. Someone in Tokyo reads my post at 3 a.m. my time, gets value, and emails me a $50,000 contract." That's digital real estate generating rent forever. Pick one platform. Create valuable content consistently. Share expertise, not just opinions. Build trust, not just followers. Your brand is your 24-hour employee that never calls in sick, never needs a vacation, and never stops working. When you own attention, you own leverage. Personal brand is digital real estate that appreciates forever, attracts opportunities without your effort, and opens doors that money alone cannot open. The best time to start building was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Skills make money. Brand attracts opportunities. But before you invest in anything else, you need the next thing. The asset that keeps you calm when markets crash and everyone around you is panicking into terrible decisions. Thing number 5. Why do rich people keep so much cash? The desperation insurance. Here's the asset that looks boring on paper but saves fortunes in reality. Most people invest every single dollar. Cash sitting in savings feels like a waste. Dead money earning nothing. So they put everything into stocks, crypto, real estate, whatever. Zero buffer, zero cushion. Then life happens. The car breaks down, medical emergency, job loss. And suddenly they're forced to sell investments at the worst possible moment just to survive. They bought high because of excitement and sold low because of desperation. The classic broke person cycle. Rich people always maintain significant cash reserves. Not as an investment, as insurance. They understand something most people miss. Cash isn't about returns. Cash is about options. Cash is the ability to stay calm when markets crash while everyone else panics. Cash is the ability to buy when others are desperately selling. Cash is dry powder, waiting for opportunities that only appear during chaos. Warren Buffett keeps over $100 billion in cash at Berkshire Hathaway. People constantly criticize him. That money is doing nothing. He smiles and waits. Then 2008 happens. Then 2020 happens. While everyone else sells at the bottom, he buys at massive discounts. Proverbs understood this centuries ago. The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. Here's a story that shows this perfectly. 2 investors during the 2020 crash. First guy was fully invested, not $1 in cash. Watched his portfolio drop 35% in 3 weeks. Panicked, couldn't sleep, sold everything at the bottom to stop the bleeding. The second guy kept 20% in cash reserves. Same crash, stayed completely calm. Actually got excited. Bought aggressively while prices were on sale. 2 years later, the first guy barely recovered to break even. Second guy up 150%. Same crash, same market, different positions, different outcomes. Build a 6-month expense cushion before investing aggressively. Keep cash in high-yield savings, earning something while waiting. Cash isn't about maximizing returns. Cash is permission to be patient. Cash is the ability to think clearly when everyone else is screaming. Never put yourself in a position where you're forced to sell because you need money. Cash isn't dead money. Desperate money is dead money. Rich people keep cash not for the returns but for the options. The ability to buy when others must sell is worth more than any extra percentage points. Cash keeps you calm during chaos. But once you have that foundation of security, the next asset lets you own pieces of the greatest businesses on earth without ever running them yourself. Thing number 6. Why do rich people buy stocks and never sell? The ownership shortcut. Here's the easiest way to own businesses without the headache of actually operating them. Most people treat the stock market like a casino. Buy based on hot tips from coworkers. Sell based on scary headlines on TV. Buy high because everyone's excited. Sell low because everyone's panicking. Check portfolio 17 times a day. Stress constantly. React to every red number. They think investing is complicated gambling. They're right, because that's exactly how they're playing it. Rich people do something radically different. They buy and hold. Not for days, not for months, for decades. Forever, ideally. They understand stocks aren't lottery tickets. They're ownership pieces of actual businesses. When you buy an index fund, you own tiny pieces of the greatest companies on earth. Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, all working for you, growing for you, without you ever attending a single meeting. Warren Buffett said it best. Our favorite holding period is forever. The S&P 500 has survived world wars, pandemics, recessions, crashes, and political chaos, and always recovered to higher levels, every single time. Proverbs warns, steady plodding brings prosperity, hasty speculation brings poverty. That's exactly what buy and hold is. Steady plodding toward wealth. I knew a grandmother who bought $10,000 in index funds in 1985. She never sold, never checked obsessively, never panicked through the 1987 crash, the 2000 bubble burst, the 2008 financial crisis, or the 2020 pandemic crash. Just held. Never touched it. Died in 2023, left $450,000 to her grandchildren. Her entire strategy? I don't understand markets. I understand patience. Buy good things. Never sell. Let time work. 40 years of doing nothing except holding turned $10,000 into nearly $500,000. Open a brokerage account. Buy a broad index fund like the S&P 500. Set up automatic monthly contributions, same amount, every month, regardless of what markets are doing. Don't check daily, quarterly at most. Hold for decades. Let compounding work its magic without interruption. Buying stocks is owning businesses without operating them. Index funds are betting on human progress and innovation, the safest long-term bet in history. Rich people buy and hold forever because selling interrupts the most powerful force in finance. Compound interest working over decades. Stocks let you own businesses passively. But there's another asset that's been quietly creating millionaires for centuries. And rich people absolutely love it, specifically because it's boring. Thing number 7. Why do rich people love boring real estate? The silent millionaire machine. Here's the asset that's been creating millionaires quietly for centuries while everyone chases exciting investments. Most people think real estate is too expensive to start. They buy a house to live in and call it an investment, even though it doesn't generate income and costs money every month. They chase exciting things, hot stocks, crypto moonshots, meme coins with dog logos. Meanwhile, boring old buildings keep making boring old millionaires every single year. Without fanfare or Twitter excitement, rich people love real estate specifically because it's boring. Rental properties generate passive income monthly. Tenants pay your mortgage while you sleep. Values appreciate over decades, quietly, steadily, predictably. Tax advantages are enormous: depreciation, deductions, 1031 exchanges. And here's the kicker: you can use other people's money. Banks happily lend 80% of the purchase price. You control a $500,000 asset with $100,000. Try getting that leverage in the stock market. 90% of millionaires own real estate. Not coincidence, pattern. Proverb says, the wise inherit land. Across every civilization, every era, land ownership equals wealth. That hasn't changed in 5,000 years. Probably won't change in the next 5,000 either. I knew a teacher who bought a small duplex at 28, lived in one unit, rented the other. The rent covered her entire mortgage payment. She lived essentially for free while building equity. Bought another duplex at 32, another at 36. At 55, she owned 6 properties completely paid off. Rental income, $8,500 per month. Never sold a single one. She told me, people chased hot stocks, crypto, the next big thing. I bought boring buildings. They worked while I taught children. Now they fund my retirement while I travel. Boring made me rich. Start learning real estate investing now. Consider house hacking. Buy a duplex, live in one unit, rent the other. Your tenant pays your mortgage while you build wealth. The first property is always the hardest. After that, the snowball starts rolling. Think in decades, not years. Real estate is the slow cooker of wealth. Not exciting, not sexy, not going to make you rich overnight. Just reliable, tax-advantaged, appreciating assets that pay you monthly forever, if you never sell. Rich people love boring because boring builds generational fortunes. Real estate builds wealth slowly and steadily. But the next asset takes your skills and your time and multiplies them infinitely. It's how employees finally escape the time for money trap and become true owners. Thing number 8. Why do rich people own businesses instead of jobs? The leverage machine. Here's the asset that transforms you from trading hours for dollars into building machines that produce dollars without you. Most people have a single income source, their job. One paycheck, one employer. One decision maker controls their entire financial life. They're one layoff, one bad quarter, one corporate restructuring away from a complete crisis. They trade time for money with zero leverage. Work an hour, get paid for an hour. Stop working, money stops. That's not security. That's a very fragile illusion of security. Rich people own businesses. Doesn't have to be massive. Even a side business changes everything. Business converts your skills into systems that can operate without your constant presence. Business converts your time into leverage that multiplies results. And here's the part nobody talks about. Business owners get taxed completely differently from employees. Employees earn money, get taxed, then spend what's left. Business owners earn money, spend on legitimate business expenses, then get taxed on what's left. Same income, dramatically different outcome. Robert Kiyosaki built his entire teaching around this. The rich don't work for money. They have businesses and investments work for them. Proverbs understood, where there are no oxen, the manger is empty, but from the strength of an ox come abundant harvests. The ox is a lever. The ox is a system working for you. Here's the math that changed my thinking forever. An employee and a business owner both earn $100,000 gross income. Employee gets taxed first, keeps approximately $65,000 after federal, state, and Social Security. Business owner spends on legitimate expenses first. Equipment, travel, home office, education, software, then gets taxed on the remainder. Keeps approximately $78,000. Same gross income, $13,000 difference annually. Invest that difference at 8% for 30 years, $1.5 million. The business owner didn't earn more money, they just kept more of what they earned. Legal, simple, available to anyone. Start a side business while employed. Monetize one skill you already have. Consulting, freelancing, digital products, anything that's yours. Learn business tax advantages immediately. Business doesn't need to replace your job overnight. It just needs to exist and grow. Employees get taxed first, then spend. Business owners spend first, then get taxed. Beyond taxes, business converts your skills into systems and your time into leverage. You stop trading hours for dollars and start building machines that produce dollars whether you're working or not. Business gives you leverage and tax advantages, but there's one final asset that represents the ultimate form of leverage. You create it once and it pays you forever, even decades after you stop working. Thing number 9. How do rich people make money while sleeping? The forever royalty. Here's the final asset, the ultimate form of leverage that keeps paying long after you've stopped working. Most people trade time for money every single day of their lives. Work today, get paid today. Stop working, income stops. They create nothing that outlasts their effort. Every dollar requires fresh hours. Retirement means the money faucet turns off completely. They're trapped in the time for money prison with no escape plan, just hoping Social Security survives long enough to catch them. Rich people create intellectual property. Books, courses, software, videos, patents, templates, music designs, anything created once that sells infinitely. They do the work one time and get paid forever. While they sleep, vacation, play with grandchildren, or do absolutely nothing, royalty checks keep arriving. Was that ebook written 5 years ago? Still selling. Was that course recorded in 2019? Still generating income. Was that software built once? Serving customers worldwide without additional labor. The internet changed everything. Previously, you needed publishers, record labels, studios, gatekeepers who took most of the money. Now, anyone can create, anyone can distribute, anyone can build intellectual property that pays royalties forever. The playing field is completely open. Proverbs says, "A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children." Intellectual property does exactly that. It can pay your grandchildren decades after you're gone. Authors' estates earn royalties generations after the writer died. Songs written 50 years ago still generate income for families who never met the creator. Here's a story that illustrates this perfectly. A man wrote a simple ebook about Excel tips in 2015. Nothing fancy, spent 3 months creating it. Put it on Amazon for $9.99. Made $200 the first month. His friends laughed. 3 months of work for $200? What a waste of time. He ignored them and moved on with life. 8 years later, that same ebook is still selling. Total earnings, $340,000. Zero additional work after publication. He traded 3 months of effort for 8 years of passive income. His friends traded 8 years of effort for 8 years of income. Same time frame. Radically different math. What knowledge do you have that others would pay for? What skills could become a course? What expertise could become a book? Create one digital product. Just one. Put it online. Let it sell while you sleep. Every piece of intellectual property is an employee working forever without salary, vacation, or complaints. The poor trade time for money. The rich trade ideas for royalties. Intellectual property is the ultimate leverage. Create once, get paid forever, build wealth that outlasts your lifetime. So there it is. 9 things rich people buy and never sell. But before I let you go, let me tell you why most people will completely ignore this list and stay broke forever. Rich people and broke people buy completely different things. Broke people buy stuff that impresses strangers. Rich people buy these 9 assets that work while they sleep, and they never sell them. 9 things rich people hold forever. Health, the energy foundation everything draws from. Time, the only non-renewable resource. Skills, the money-printing toolbox nobody can repossess. Personal brand, digital real estate working 24/7. Cash reserves, insurance against desperate decisions. Stocks and index funds, ownership without operations. Real estate, the silent millionaire machine. Business, the leverage multiplier. Intellectual property, create once, get paid forever. Rich people buy assets, not stuff. They prioritize things that keep working even when they don't. The goal isn't to get rich fast, it's to stay rich forever. This week, pick one asset from this list. Start building it today. Which asset are you focusing on first? Comment the number 19. Hit subscribe because next week I'm revealing exactly how to build each of these 9 assets step by step, starting from zero. Broke people buy stuff. Rich people buy freedom. Same money, different purchases, different life.